All right, we're gonna call this meeting to order. It is February 12th, 5:06 p.m. And present and accounted for are Kurt Giles, Ed Lovell, and Katie Flores. And if you guys don't mind, do the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, well, thank you everybody for coming. We're just we're here to workshop some ideas here. Some of you have experienced the town government prior to going to a town manager, and before and after, and kind of looking to get some opinions and experiences with a town administrator, just because we don't have the experience to say that that's a good idea or a bad idea, and so we're kind of looking for. I know buddy, you were here. Any thoughts?
Yeah, no.
Nope.
Isn't that what Biden said?
I don't know, did he?
No, more than once.
I don't know, I couldn't understand.
They didn't listen to him either.
Yep,
Who's the first selectman?
that would be me.
How much time you got in your hands?
Right this second, not as much as I would need to make that happen. Yep.
Because she's just an administrator if you go to the town administrator. Am I right, Lois?
Who are you talking about?
Katie.
Well, right now, I would assume she would be interim town manager because,
Right, well, until the town meeting, we're just looking at
okay,
if we were gonna change it going forward.
Right.
She's gonna
Well-
be sworn in tomorrow as the interim town manager.
awesome. Gene Sparrow was on the board and he was the one who was instrumental in getting it changed to a town manager form of government, and it was quite a process.
Yep.
We had to go before the town to have a
Oh, yeah.
vote of the town, so in order to go to an administrative assistant, you would have to reverse that for the vote of the town, I would assume, but you
Yeah.
need legal advice.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely how it would have to be done. I mean, this is just, we're just kicking the idea
Yeah,
around.
I'm fully in agreement with administrative assistant.
Why do you want to switch it?
Just where we had so many issues, and a lot of the issues that we had with Cindy could.
I just want to say, you want to be careful what
Yeah.
you say.
Yep, she was just having experiences with other people questioning her authority, and it just caused a lot more issues that she really didn't need to deal with, and it caused a lot of stress for her. And we're just trying to alleviate some of that to see if that would help out the situation. You know, it wasn't. That was no fault of hers. That was just how it was, and a lot of argumentative things going on. I don't want to make the same mistake again, and so we're just talking about it, just to see if it's even viable.
I think the issue with the administrative assistant setup is that the selectmen have to live in town.
Yep.
So you just shrunk your pool of qualified people to run the town to people who live in this town. And then nobody wants to crap in their own backyard. So when there's issues and they live in town, it gets a little stickier. Whereas if you stay with town manager, then you can get a town manager from anywhere, and they don't necessarily have to live in this town. And it also gives them a buffer to be a little more objective about things, because it's not their neighbor coming in, you know, talking to them that has an issue. It gives them that space.
The only problem that I see with that is from being out of town and not being in town, is that the decisions that they make do not directly affect them.
Correct, which allows them to be more objective sometimes, whether everybody likes that or not.
Define objective.
When you're making decisions that are for the town versus, well, this is gonna benefit me because I live on this road, You know, and then you get into all of that, you got people questioning the selectmen's choice of what they decide to do, and everybody say, oh, well, it's because he lives on that road. That's why he made that decision, and, you know, you still are going to have issues.
I do, but I see as, if it was somebody local, I think that it actually has a better effect on their decision making.
Well, and there's nothing
Again,
saying they can't live in town.
like Buddy said, we kinda gotta be careful what we say, but there's some instances that I know of that, that I don't believe was the right decisions for the town. And I would say the same thing for any town if those decisions were being made for them, you know what I'm saying? I'm not just saying that because I sit in where I am and I live here. Being objective, you know what I'm saying? And actually seeing the right things for the town. But as far as administrative assistant or town manager, either one is a title. And it all depends on what we write in to our ordinance as to what the liabilities are or the job description is of said person, whether they're a town administrator or a town manager.
So why couldn't the policies been rewritten when we had a town manager that it wasn't going well with? Why couldn't the selectmen have rewritten policies or brought that to town meeting and said, we would like to rewrite these policies?
I'd say old dogs and new tricks. Muscle memory thing. When things have always gone the way that they've gone. In the short time that I've been here, I've seen it.
So why can't you do that now? Why can't you write new policies so
That's
that
exactly-
the new town manager, you could stay
Yeah,
within
we
the town
absolutely can.
manager
That's exactly what's
system?
gonna happen. Yes,
Okay.
that's exactly what's gonna happen. So, I guess we're just looking for input to see which title would be best suited.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
yep,
Just because they're a town manager doesn't mean that they have the exact power as a town manager, or that an administrative assistant doesn't have more to the name administrative assistant than what stereotype is in it, you know what I'm saying? Because that's up to us as a town to write it however we want to, as far as our ordinance go, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's their own municipality, and everybody can do, right, the crazy things, because what works for us isn't gonna work for Lewiston. You know what I'm saying? Every town is gonna be different, or even Dixmont, you know what I mean?
so if it doesn't matter that you can write the policies however you want, why go through all the work of changing the setup from selectmen, from town manager to administrative assistant? There's really no difference then, right?
Correct,
It's just a
For the
matter
most
of
part,
what
you're-
policy
you're
is
correct.
written.
yes.
What
Ah.
about, Maine Municipal Association? Has anybody looked at what their recommendations are?
So we've talked to them on a fair amount of instances lately. Had some issues with them that we're ironing out at the moment. But they'll be a big part of anything going forward. I
You
mean,
mean MMA?
yeah,
They're my best friends.
free legal advice for us. We don't have to be using
That's right.
the town lawyer all the
They
time.
eat free.
Yeah,
I
but if
dealt
we
with
don't
some-
use it, we're still paying for it, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. As far as that goes.
But they usually have good guidelines, and, Kathy Conwell down there.
Yeah.
She's a wealth of knowledge, and, if you'd like, I can gather some information for you. I'm kinda retired, sort of, and,
She's a good friend of yours.
yeah, and well, she used to be the city manager, city of Bangor.
Yep.
And we got very well acquainted.
but she's right on the straight and narrow. She, it is what it is, and she doesn't try to sway it one way or the other. So I'd be more than happy to contact her and see if they have input as to the advantages of administrator versus manager.
I think as the way it's looking, I mean, obviously we're gonna get with a lawyer and go through and see how it's actually laid out, but I think the legwork to go from the town manager to a town administrator is gonna be far harder than just altering what we need to put in for checks and balances. You know, as far as I can see, in my opinion, but.
If the town votes it down, are you guys prepared to hire another town manager, and do you know what you have to go through to hire a town manager?
Yep, it's pretty awful. Yep.
I mean, did we go through, Lois?
Oh, we've had several.
How much time did we put in, Brian?
Way too much.
Right now, City of Bangor is looking for a city manager,
Yep.
and
Yeah, there's a lot, and there's a lot that have just bounced around from municipality to municipality to municipality.
yeah.
And I think also we'll have Katie obviously involved in all of this too. And her input as to what everybody's comfortable with as far as her role as town manager or administrator, however, I mean, even as town manager, you know what I'm saying? Because again, it comes down to our ordinance as to however we write it, as to what, at the end of the day, what her responsibilities will be versus what they are now, as it's written, because yeah, all right, I'll leave it at that.
As
Well, things
we're
would
trying to
be
make this as
restructured.
transparent as possible and keep as many people in the town involved with every process of the decision making, because honestly, I mean, we're just here for you guys, and
So, if you were to rewrite those policies, does that happen at town meeting?
I mean, we would rewrite it and we would bring it to a vote at the town meeting, just so everybody has a say.
You don't have to bring it to a town.
I know we don't have to, but it's not something that I'm comfortable making a huge bunch of changes to something without everybody having a say in.
Have you guys taken the selectman class yet?
Yeah.
Have you had the 4-year class yet?
Excuse me?
A 4-year class yet?
Freedom.
Yes, correct, yes, before I even became selectman. Yeah, when I was planning board.
As far as this goes, I didn't have a whole heck of a lot to say tonight. I just wanted some input from everybody. Brian, you've been there for a long time.
Well, it wasn't too long ago the town went through this before, and it was very, very painful.
Yes.
It went from town manager to a town administrator, and it was through a town meeting where it really wasn't well attended.
Mhm.
And as soon as the word got out, the bulk of the town got very upset at the change. They instituted a petition to go back to town manager. The next town meeting, we went back to town manager.
Was it because it wasn't working, or was it just because nobody knew what was going on and
I,
didn't like it?
I think a lot of people, at least those that I spoke with, felt that it was kind of behind their back and kind of an underhanded process. It was with a board that wasn't well thought of. We went from 3 selectmen to 5 for a year, then it went back to 3.
The fixers.
Yes. But one thing I think you really should consider is, in my mind, a select board form of government has to rely so much on memory. Not a lot of things are written down where you can easily grasp them. And you're either relying on somebody's experience that's been around for a while, or in the audience, those that have been involved for a while. So I'm thinking, what do you do when you fellas leave and you get new selectmen in? They're starting from scratch. They're not going to have any idea how to run things.
Yep.
And unless you have a really dominant administrator, then they're going to be, I think, looking around in circles.
Well,
I
hopefully
think
we don't
my recommendation is stay with town manager. If you're not happy, change the manager.
Okay.
so do you think with what we're proposing about rewriting policy, do you think that that is a plausible thing?
Not really, because excuse me.
I was just,
They-
no, never mind.
You have personalities involved,
Yeah.
and you're not going to be able to put everything in writing, and you're going to have to work in a managerial fashion. And I don't see how you guys would have time to deal with individuals. It's a lot easier funneling down through one person your policies, so that well, again, the continuity of everything, going from a board of selectmen, you change every year, sometimes, and so and so again, you're going to leave somebody kind of hanging, not knowing what they should be doing.
Well, I mean, it'll be well written, whatever, you know what I mean? If we do change anything, as far as duties go,
That's what my question was. When you say rewrite policies, what policies are you talking about, or is
Just
this
about
just
the
the job description?
that's right,
Yeah.
job description of the town
That,
manager.
yeah, that needs to be really clarified.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying,
Okay,
yes.
I thought.
Because no matter which title it is,
Yeah.
right, you can add or subtract anything that you want to
Yeah.
in that job description to make it fit your environment.
Right. And the town manager position has the hiring and firing abilities.
Correct.
Right.
Then that would be put on the selectmen,
Should
which
be.
truthfully can be contentious.
Yep, absolutely can be.
You know, if you three selectmen aren't happy with your fire chief, you wanna get rid of him, you're all inside this town.
Right.
Believe me, I know.
Oh, I'm sure.
Not at all. I love you right to death.
No, I mean, that's what,
Wasn't
but that's something that we, you know what I mean, that we need to discuss and figure out, because, just like Brian said, I mean, hopefully, the townspeople are happy with selectmen that they have, and they can stay for a while. I mean, because I know in the past, right, the longer that selectmen can stay there, it seems to be a prudent thing for the town.
Oh, yeah, much better.
I
It
mean,
is, but there's a burnout factor.
well,
There really is.
If you have a good town manager though,
right,
Yeah.
Town
yes.
manager or administrative assistant.
whatever,
Yeah.
whoever, yeah,
There's a big difference between town manager and administrative
absolutely.
assistant.
But if you have a good one, then the selectman's job should be a little easier.
We looked all the way to Ohio,
Midwest somewhere.
We had
Midwest,
one. We
Arkansas.
had one, didn't we come in and
As
get
far as
it
I'm
from
concerned,
Ohio?
I mean,
We did it
she's
over the
been
phone.
Oh, yeah,
trained
I
in
remember.
almost everything that she
Remember
needs
she
to know.
said, well, you guys
Very
have been in the
personable.
news a lot
I
lately,
don't
that's
think
why I'm
that
asking so much.
Katie will have a problem being able to do the job. You know, she's smart, and I think she's very competent to do it.
She definitely knows all the personalities involved.
Mm-hmm.
Well said,
Best part is she knows how to handle those personalities.
yes, true story.
Right, so I don't think we're gonna have an issue there at all, to be honest. But as far as, and this is kind of a question really on you, we've had 3 people in the office, and I mean, I know you said that it's good to cover vacations and stuff, but I don't think 3 people going forward is that a feasible thing, or am I just delusional?
Well, it would really depend if you can find somebody part-time. That was the problem with the position, is we couldn't fill it as a part-time position.
Is Rebecca, obviously you've talked to Rebecca about all of this, is she gonna step up and take your position?
Hopefully, in some instances, yeah. It'll just take training her.
Right, that's
Um,
right. So versus her,
I mean, ultimately, like we talked about this,
Can,
you know.
can I stop you for a minute? I think that
Yeah.
discussion should be
Yeah.
some other time. Talking about who's doing what, that's not in front of the public, that should be in that room.
all right,
Most of it has to be public. I'm not talking about,
The position has to be advertised,
Yeah,
correct?
Mhm.
And, we definitely have, somebody that's very well qualified and knows the town, but regardless, it's gonna be advertised.
yeah, she's gonna be interim until
Yeah.
until the town meeting anyway, so it's not.
Yeah.
That'll all be taken.
so you guys making an article for the town meeting to put in to go to administrative assistant?
No.
no,
No, we were just getting people here just so we could talk about it, and it was a far-fetched idea, and we didn't know if it had any traction, and we knew that you guys had tried it before, so we just wanted to hear what everybody thought. It wasn't something that we put a whole heck of a lot into, you know? We know there's a lot of experience in this room right here, and we want to use it the best we can.
Well, like I've always told you guys, you know my number.
Yeah.
More than happy to call me anytime.
so you're suggesting executive session to talk about the things that we need to talk about?
Well, any hiring or firing, you talk about that, that goes away. You only bring it out to public when
Vote on it.
you've made your decision.
Yeah.
Then it's up to you guys. Now, as administrative assistant, everything goes out of her hands when it comes to hiring and firing. It's gonna be up to you guys to do it. Preferably, I'd like to see 3 people up there. I'm kinda surprised there hasn't been an election for a selectman yet.
Honestly, we were advised by the town manager that we didn't have enough time to have an election, get all the signatures, have an election. It would have been like a month difference rather than wait for the
When's the town meeting?
June. You got 90 days to.
What is it, Lois? Is
I
it
think it's 90 days, is it?
90 days?
45 days, ain't it?
45 days and then 30 days for.
It's been a while since I've thought about it.
I know,
I
me
think
too.
it's 45 days.
Because we originally wanted to throw it out there and get somebody on here. We don't want to be 2 guys on a board making decisions. Absolutely not.
Especially right now.
So, I mean, we're trying to make as few decisions as possible until we get somebody else on the board.
Been there, done that.
Well, my opinion is I'm against it.
Okay.
That's just my opinion.
Yep.
I think you have a town manager that frees you guys up. When I took Gene Sparrow's over, I knew nothing. I was a rec director. Then Lois and Cindy, everybody else voted me back in after my 18 months that I wanted to get out of it. Then I ended up staying in there another 10 years.
Yep.
But also when Cindy found out Cindy was stealing the money, I spent many hours in that town office with that woman right there.
Yep.
It weren't fun,
I bet it wasn't.
only because I had that title of first selectman, chairman of the board.
That's right.
I mean, Lois and I had fun, but,
Well, yeah,
I mean,
it wasn't a picnic.
Not being a target was no fun though, was it?
no, it wasn't.
Yeah.
I had 96 voicemails on my phone. One of them was nice.
Remember those days?
That was my mother.
What is wrong?
Alright, well, I assume everybody here has, our numbers are available, so if you wanna talk or have any ideas, feel free. And we're gonna take that all under advisement, and I'm pretty much in agreement.
I think you guys need to do a newsletter.
Yep.
Emails are great, but how many people are on your email, Katie?
340.
Out of 1,500 people in the town? You guys need to do newsletters more often.
Will there be an announcement
Yeah.
about, because I think that becomes an issue too, is people are like, what, we didn't know.
Yeah, no, there'll be an announcement here.
Right, it's like this meeting, I didn't know this meeting was until you told me Monday night.
Yeah,
And it
I
wasn't
don't-
on the website, and
It
it
was
wasn't on the
nowhere.
Facebook page.
It's on the website. I didn't share it. I didn't share it on the Facebook page.
I looked on Monday and I couldn't find it Monday
It's
night.
in the things to do on the
Under-
bottom left.
But if you went into the events that listed,
Oh,
planning
on
board
top.
meetings, like it was not there.
Yeah.
Cause I would look in things to do, cause I would think that's a activity, you know, like,
Not
we're all going
everybody got
snowshoeing.
strong.
It's on the side.
and we can if you want.
No, I'm good, I'm
Well,
good.
I see.
You're right, you think-
That once.
You think monthly newsletter, quarterly?
Well, if you're going,
How
if
often?
you're seriously about going to an administrative assistant, your first newsletter is gonna be about that.
Yeah, I don't think we are. This was just a
Information.
information gathering.
Okay.
We wanted to talk to people that were in the know and had an idea how this all works. And
But yeah, there definitely needs to be something stating that she has
Mhm.
stepped down and,
yeah, I
And
mean,
The
why?
fact that you got a daycare here
Should be
now,
here
that
through
you
the
got
8th.
things going on, I
Yeah.
mean, there's all kinds of things you can put in there. Especially if you have people, business, you know, concrete guys putting in advertisement, and they'll pay for it. I wouldn't charge
hey,
them.
you know, those carpenters do too.
I'm tired. Says Laconia, not Belches.
When is her last day, you know?
what's the
Yeah.
cost when we do a newsletter?
Wouldn't look at
Send
that.
that out.
It's like
$64
$120.
feet wide.
Okay.
When is her last day, by the way?
Oh, it's nice.
March 5th,
Does she have any vacation or sick time to take?
March,
I say don't make trail
So
trucks.
she could be done sooner?
yes, that's the plan,
Do you think she will?
yeah.
Yeah.
And she's taking some, so it's,
Yeah, today and tomorrow,
I think tomorrow will probably be snow day.
possibly. But yeah, she has mentioned it, about using her vacation time versus
Yeah.
not.
So Katie said it to us about $120 to do a newsletter. By the time we send it out.
Worth every penny.
Oh, yeah.
Biggest thing about townspeople is they wanna be informed.
Yep.
They don't wanna be inconvenienced.
Some do, some throw
Well,
in
they
the
should be
trash.
informed, and that's,
Yeah. That's the trouble, you
know how
have
we
to do
feel
it
about it.
over and over first.
if that's the best way you think to do it, then it's probably something we should work on.
Unless you get on the phone and start calling every one of them.
Good luck with that.
This ain't like back in the 1700s when we had the town crier down at the corner ringing the bell.
Right.
Get your newspaper here.
That's what it is now, isn't it? Is it what it calls down, Brian?
Town crier,
Calling
yeah.
everybody for a fire.
Alright, well, I don't have much more to say. I appreciate you guys coming, and we'll take that information and hopefully,
Get a newsletter out. That's all I can tell you.
you'll hear from us.
Take some nomination papers out when they're.